Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the January 25th, 2021 Glendale Parks Recreation and Community Services Commission meeting. Due to the evolving situation with COVID-19 and health recommendations from LA County Health Department, the Commission meeting will be available to the public electronically. Due to social distancing requirements, the public will not be able to attend the meeting. This meeting can be viewed on local cable, Charter Cable Channel 6, and AT&T Uverse Channel 99. You may also stream online through our website, www.glendaleca.gov, by scrolling all the way to the bottom of the web page and selecting live streaming, which is the third icon from the left. For public comments and questions during this meeting, call 818-937-8100. Please don't call in advance of the agenda item. With this being said, may I have the roll call, please?
Certainly. Commissioners Eberly?
Present.
Hotel?
Present.
Azarbegian?
Present.
Wolfson?
Present.
And President Kalfayan?
Present.
The agenda
Next
for the
item.
January 25th. Thank you. The agenda for the January 25th, 2021 special meeting was posted on the bulletin board outside City Hall on or before January 22nd, 2021. Item 2 is upcoming council agenda items.
Good afternoon, President Kalfaya and members of the commission. On January 22nd, we'll be taking a report. 26th, tomorrow, we'll be taking a report regarding Los Angeles County Workforce Development and Aging and Community Services 2020-2021 funds for youth employment services, and making funding recommendations to the Glendale Youth Alliance in the amount of $355,000 for their summer youth employment training program. On February 2nd, we will be taking a joint report with Public Works to award a contract for Duke-Majan Park restroom project. We'd like to award the contract to Pub Construction in the amount of $434,500 plus contingency of 15%. Total contract not exceeding $499,000. Second item for February 2nd is a report regarding 2020-2021 Federal Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act funds, once again to Glendale Youth Alliance and City of Burbank. We'd like to allocate $472,000 for GYA and $125,000 for City of Burbank Workforce Development section. On February 16th, we'll be taking a joint Housing Authority and City Council report for the Life Wrap program, Low Income Family Employment Rental Assistance Program, in the amount of $1,315,000. That's it.
Do we have any questions? Anyone has any questions for Mr. Bulanikian? So next item, Iris, please.
Sure. Item 3 is commission staff comments.
Okay, let me call one by one so we have any comments. Commissioner Eberly, any comments?
I have a question for staff. I was wondering if you've thought of any ways that the department can support the vaccination effort. I know that you're in touch with a lot of vulnerable groups, and it just seemed like there might be some way that CSP can be involved in making sure people have access to vaccines.
President Kalfaya and members of the commission, we are currently working with LA County Health Department to operate Civic Auditorium as an MPOD, as a medical point of dispensing. So when county is ready to activate the MPOD, our staff is ready to assist in the distribution of the vaccines. We are also working with the fire department when they receive updates on vaccinating Glendale residents, we'll use all of our social media outlets and pass that information.
Sorry, I know the part about the civic auditorium. I was just thinking in the interim, when people are having such a hard time getting appointments and understanding how to do it, I was just wondering if there's anything in the interim that can be done to assist.
Sure, we'll work with our PIO office. Any of the residents can call the city's COVID hotline, or they can also call our senior services section if they're 60 and over, and we can assist them in providing the information for the vaccination. Right now, the vaccines are, tiered. They're currently vaccinating, I believe, 1A, which is healthcare workers, fire personnel, and now seniors age 65 and up. I know there are some hospitals, not in Glendale area, but in LA, that are vaccinating only 75 years of age and up due to the shortage of the vaccines. Once we get more information, we can share that with commission and the residents, but any of the residents that are interested in vaccination can call the COVID hotline number.
Are all the hospitals serving the community in vaccination, or there is few of them only in Glendale? Glendale hospitals.
All of the 3 hospitals are taking appointments for healthcare workers and seniors as of today.
Okay, Commissioner Patel, any questions, comments?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. It's lovely to see you all. I was going to make a statement, but perhaps the last comment that Onig made about the availability in Glendale may supersede this. So let me ask, are you saying at this point that Glendale is not only taking appointments, but are able to facilitate providing vaccinations for 65 and up starting as soon as tomorrow? Or is this looking at projection further out as far as appointments go?
I believe looking at the further out, I need to follow up with our Glendale Fire Chief if the hospitals are providing vaccinations to 65 and up. I know LA County is operating the mega sites, and there are concerns that seniors traveling to, let's say, Dodger Stadium or CSUN, it's a couple-hour project for them to get vaccinated. But when those vaccines are available, we will let the community know. But as of now, I believe they're taking appointments. I probably misspoke, but they are taking appointments for healthcare workers. But okay. I will follow up with the fire chief.
So my mom was able to get an appointment to, I called on Friday, and I was able to get her an appointment for Monday at Dodger Stadium. I'm sorry, not Dodger Stadium, Lincoln Park. So I know there's 4 dispensaries in the county currently taking appointments for 65 and up. And I know that's because those areas were able to receive perhaps more supply than other areas. I don't really understand how quite the distribution works. And I know it's only a matter of time before that is available to 65 and up here in Glendale. But I would like to say that considering this, these vulnerable folks have been waiting quite a while, I think it's worth mentioning that they can currently get appointments that are the next day or within the next 2 or 3 days by going to vaccinatelacounty.com or calling 1-833-540-0473. And, some of them have medical access vehicles that have plexiglass that are quite safe to travel in, to go to Lincoln Park, to go to Dodger Stadium. So yes, it's a bit of a drive, but I will tell you, my mom was able to get her vaccination within 45 minutes, driving from here to there and back. So it is accessible. And I would like to say that I think it's worth mentioning that to our community, even though we don't have it immediately available here in Glendale. some of the neighborhoods nearby do.
Okay, that's good information. Thank you. That's okay. Any comments? No. Commissioner Sardar Berdian, any comments?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Okay. And Commissioner Wolfson.
Yes, I have some comments. First of all, I want to say I know a number of people who have been vaccinated. They went to Dodger Stadium. It wasn't that difficult. There's been a great deal of coverage of how to make an appointment.
Commissioner Wolfson, we can't hear you unless I'm the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's got a connection problem because her video is also kind of on slow-mo.
Okay, I'm going to try again. Can you hear me speaking? Are you hearing me speaking at a normal pace?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you now.
I know a number of people who have been vaccinated. The access to the vaccine sites and so forth has been announced a great deal on local news shows and so on. And I know many people have already received vaccines who are part of our community. And so I think it's been rough. I'm personally concerned about the fact that there are supply issues with this vaccines, but hopefully they're going to iron that out very soon. I do hope so. Today, I wanted to particularly thank our city staff for continuing to perform a lot of extra work that keeps our community safer by sanitizing facilities and so forth, adapting to this crisis. And I also want to thank community members who are complying and cooperating with mask wearing and other recommendations that have been made. Most of us have never experienced anything remotely like this, and the situation has dragged on for quite some time. And so I really want to express some appreciation for the people that are being patient with it and are being and are enduring these frustrating restrictions to protect people. It's not just to protect people from COVID, it's also to lower the incidence of COVID so that health resources are available for people who have heart attacks and strokes and accidents and other things like that. If everyone understands that, it really helps a lot. I'm very grateful to our community for complying with requests. And I'm also grateful that we live in a time when technology and scientific knowledge are as advanced as they are, because I think that's going to help us get out of this sooner than would have been possible during previous pandemics. And with that, I'll shut up. Thanks.
Okay, I thank you. Iris, next item, please.
Item 4, oral communications. We don't have any callers at this time. Next is item 5, consent items. At A is approval of the minutes of the commission regular meeting held on November 16, 2020.
Okay. If you want to take a look at the minutes of the last time, we approved the Verdugo.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Okay. I need a second to approve it.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Okay, I'll proceed with the roll call. Commissioners Eberly. Commissioner Eberly. Okay, we may have lost her. Patel.
Yes.
Sardar Begian.
Aye.
Sardar Begian.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Wolfson.
Yes.
And President Kalfayan.
Yes. Okay, next item, please.
Our next is 6, reports information only. At A is Verdugo Skate Park Annual Report for July 1st, 2019 through June 30th, 2020.
Hello, members of the commission and President Kalfai and city staff. My name is Patty Bancourt. I'm going to be reporting on the Verdugo Skate Park from July 1st, 2019 through June 30th of 2020. This year, next slide, Gabrielle, please. This year, on April 17th, will be the Verdugo Skate Park's 16th year anniversary. The skate park is a 15,000 square foot skate park. There's kidney bowls, a snake run, some street features, which includes ledges and handrails. Some of the basic programs we have are both group lessons on the weekends, as well as private instructional one-on-one lessons for drop-in on the weekdays. We have, in normal years, we have Friday Night Lights, which is a fun, controlled, safe environment for you to jam and skate with friends in a more of a party atmosphere with screens set up for skate videos and skate games going on. We also have film permits. And on June 21st, since 2004, we celebrate International Go Skateboarding Day, where it's just a fun day, again, for you to come out. There's music being played at the skate park. Next slide. The Verdugo Skate Park is open daily, Monday through Friday, and then extended hours on weekends. The program times are expanded also during the Glendale Unified School District summer break. All youth and Glendale adults enter for free, and only non-resident adults pay. Next slide. During this reporting period, we had 828 total adults come and visit the skate park, and 2,254 youth came by to skate. Next slide. During the reporting period, we had a total of 3,082 skaters attend. You can see kind of the numbers there throughout the years. In summer, we offer, next slide. In summer, we offer 4 weeks of skate camp. Both of the camps go on weekly field trips, swimming trips, and our more advanced camp goes to visit 4 skate parks. Our 2 levels that we have Groms, which I don't know if you guys know what that means. I didn't know what that meant, but Groms is basically a term used to describe a young extreme sport participant. And Shredders, which is the advanced level camp. Shredders is basically a gnarly, quote unquote, term used for shredding, meaning you're better and you excel at skating or your extreme sport. So just a little background for that. Next slide. Our skate camp is offered Monday through Friday from 9 to 4 with the options of before care and after care. The campers really come out learning a lot from the camps. They learn skate etiquette as well as make their very own personalized skateboard. And if you're in Shredders, you get to visit 4 LA local skate parks. Next slide. You can see our budget for the Verdigo Skate Park versus our actual, based on this report being short 3 months of the programming due to the COVID closure on March 10th of 2020. Next slide. Again, you can see the effect of the closure, not having 3 months on here to actually report on because of the closure again. we like to advertise and promote via our different city social media platforms. Our skating audience is a younger crowd, so anytime we need to have anything put out there, putting it on our social media sites is usually the best way to connect for anything from a closure to, for instance, on Halloween, just reminding them to wear a safe costume to come out and participate. So it's a good way to connect and for them to contact us as well. Any questions?
Do you want me to make a call for Commissioner Everly? Any comment?
No questions. I just wanted to add that I think the staff do a really good job of creating an inclusive and supportive environment for people to learn how to skate, which I think is great.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Patel?
Yes, I just want to say how wonderful it is that our city has a skate park. I just think it's a lot of places around here don't have them, and I just think it's really fantastic. Is the intermediate skater camp at Verdugo? Well, the intermediate skater camp is at Verdugo Park. Where do they have the beginners skater camp?
They both take place at the skate park.
Oh, so they both are at that location. Even
they're both at that location. The only thing is the intermediate camp travels 4 days out of the week. They get to go to 4 different skate parks.
Okay.
While the other beginners stay at the site.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Then the other question I had was, does the city offer any financial assistance for the skate camps?
We do have a scholarship program for our day camp program, and maybe Seth could answer, Gabrielle, if the skate camp falls in that scholarship.
I'm Gabrielle Golia, the senior supervisor of the section. Unfortunately, because the skate camp is a specialty camp, it does not fall under the scholarship program. It's not used primarily for childcare, which is what our scholarship was designed to offer assistance for.
Okay, so what are the age groups then for the skater camps?
The camp goes from 6 to 15.
So because it's an activity, it's therefore not considered daycare?
Yeah, I guess it's considered a specialty camp, so it doesn't fall under the scholarship umbrella.
Okay. And then I had another question. Well, actually, it's more that I want to point out something that was in the report that I think is important to take note of. You showed I think it was a span of attendance. And when we, the first year, like there was 6,000 attendees versus obviously this last year, all attendance is going to be down. But there was a gradual lowering. And I did notice that the report indicated that was probably due to probably due to the fact that the city started charging general admittance for everyone. But now that the city is not charging that, the attendance is starting to go back up again. So I think that's really great that the kids are being charged because it gives kids a place to go and to commune with other kids without the burden of having to be able to pay for that every day. So I just want to commend the city for that and recognize that those numbers are starting to come back up again, or at least they were before COVID.
As soon as we could open again too, we're happy to open up and have the community back out there.
But I do remember my last question. Why is it that the skate park isn't open during COVID, whereas we see tennis courts and pickleball courts that are open because it's a non-contact sport? Is the skater park considered a contact court? Is that why?
I'm happy to answer that one for you. We were open for a couple of months based on the LA County protocols, but on November 30th, I believe it was, the county updated their protocols and stated that skate parks would only allow individual skaters or members from the same household to skate at the same time. So the logistics of trying to open our skate park for just one child or one child and a sibling, it was really very difficult to try and manage that. So we're temporarily closed until the county updates their order again.
It just seems like I'm certainly not faulting you. I just find it so odd that you have playgrounds open, and you've got tennis courts open, but skater parks aren't open. It just seems to me that would probably fall more under the purview of a non-contact facility. I mean, I understand why perhaps something like basketball courts aren't open, because that's more of a contact sport, but I didn't imagine that skater parks would be.
Yes, unfortunately, we're following the county protocols for whatever they're telling us we're allowed to be open, whatever their protocols are calling for. And as soon as they do change that protocol, our plan is to open back up as soon as possible after that, so that we can make it available to the skaters again.
Great, thank you.
Of course.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Sardarabegian.
No, I have nothing.
Okay, and Commissioner Wolferson. Hello, Commissioner Wolferson. Did we lose you?
Nothing from me, thank you.
Nothing for you. Okay, Iris, next.
Sure, next is item 6B, Park Services Section Monthly Activity Report for November and December 2020.
Good afternoon, President Kalfayan, members of Commission. As Ms. Moreno just mentioned, we're going to be reporting on the months of November and December. For the month of November, our crews completed 607 work orders. These are special work orders, non-routine, of which 579 were completed by groundskeepers, 3 pesticide work orders, and then 25 irrigation repair work orders, for total labor hours of 1,366. And for the month of December, it was 743 work orders, completed 713 by groundskeepers, 5 pesticide applications, and 25 irrigation repair work orders, for a total of 1,400, just about 50 labor hours. We do have a presentation of a couple of projects we completed for those months, and we will attempt to share that with you now. So first, we had a request from the community to paint the parking stalls at Brandt Park. It was specifically for the location of Brandt Park, next to the playground. Yet once we had our colleagues from Public Works schedule the work order to get out and do the work, they realized more areas within the park required the repainting of the line. So they started in the parking lot, by the library, then the lower parking lot, and ultimately they also finished the original area of request. And they went around, also completed a lot of other painting of the red curves and whatnot, so the community understands where to park or not to park. Over at Car Park, we had a project we were working on for some time. Community required us to give them more picnic areas, sheltered picnic areas. And where you see in Car Park, the area that is highlighted in yellow was a open concrete area. This is adjacent to the fitness equipment that is at the park. Working with some of the neighbors and individuals who requested us at picnic tables, we connected with our vendors and we installed a shaded area, 2 of them, each one with 4 picnic tables, group picnic tables, with barbecues and concrete trash cans. Now, albeit this isn't ideal and you likely won't get the use that we anticipate given the COVID, this project had been online for about 1.5 years with planning, permitting, and it finally did come through to fruition. And we do anticipate this site to be used by our community heavily when COVID is all done and gone. There's a couple of more pictures from different angles. As you can see to the right of the pictures where the fitness equipment is located. And this also adjacent to the restroom building, which is just further south of it. Over at Pacific Park, this was early December. We as Commission knows, we do get a lot of vandalism, but this one was unique in its sense at the corner of Riverdale and Kenilworth, where there was some drinking that happened overnight, and individuals decided to paint the walls. Now, the area over here that's kind of hard to see, we had to cover it because there was some language that we could not display on television for the public. And as you know, we had our staff get out there and paint the area, cleared it completely, as well as our van, delivery van. It was also tagged. We had to use a pressure washer to get it all cleaned up. So we went from what you see to the left to, after our staff was done with it, got it cleaned to the right. We do occasionally on weekends, and not the cold weekends, but as spring and summer starts rolling around in this beautiful weekend, we do get to see a little tick and vandalism. And we do work our police department as things get a little uneasy at certain parks. Upper Shoal Canyon Fields, as you know, we completed the restroom project here. We reported on it a couple of months back during our CIP presentation. In this area where the restroom was constructed, it shows this was the old version where it was grass. After we concluded to allow for ADA accessibility to the building, that area now is DG. DG is decomposed granite. Here's a picture of what it used to look like. Now, you may notice in this picture, I don't think my cursor shows, there are some valves right next to the equipment. This is the location where we're going to install a bullpen. We're going to install 2 bullpens for field 2 and 1 for field 3. The bullpens are necessary for the teams as they start getting ready for games, which we pray and hope it'll be very soon and get back to normal. But in order to do that, these 5 valves that serve the field had to move so they're not in the way. Our irrigation crew went at it very hard. You notice here, they're digging and excavating, identifying where all the lines are, where the valves are. And once they were all exposed, they had to be cut. And this is the opposite side for field 3. Same task on both sides. Exposed, cut, and new valves going from the north end down to the south, away from where the bullpens are going to be on both sides. And here's the final product. So they're no longer in the way. And the permits for this work is currently being finalized. We look forward to the next month to start construction of the bullpens at the site. We're going to have 2 bullpens, each one 65 feet length by 12 feet wide, with 2 gates accessibility for teams and whoever's using the facility. And here's another picture of the entire area open for the bullpens right now. At Palmer Park, as you noted, we have been doing a lot of upgrades. We're taking them in phases. This is the area behind the skate park at Palmer Park. And as you recall, we did some cleanup over in this area, yet we did not finish the job, and we came back to clean it up, extend the steps, make it a full step all the way. After we finished, it looked a little dull and dry, so we went on and took this area and put concrete in the steps rather than dirt, so water doesn't wash off anymore if it rains. After the concrete was completed and nicely sealed and dried, we took the steps, and right next to them we decided to plant, so it adds a nice little walkway path for individuals using this area. And here is the final of this little corner. At Adult Recreation Center, at the Korean American Council Forum of America actually reached out to us. This is the Peace Monument. It is something we worked with them years back to install at the ARC, the Central Park. They wanted to do some upgrade, upgrade it by removing the dirt and installing some stones, changing the grass, either seeding or sodding, and adding some plants in the background to liven this area up. With that, our staff went to work. KFC actually donated the hibiscus trees that we planted, as you can see here, right behind the monument. In the monument area, you see what looks brown. That is the decomposed granite. We had to excavate the decomposed granite, drop it down a couple of inches to make room for just mortar. And once we laid the mortar, we had our staff go in and install these individual stones for the area. This is so when it does rain, individuals have to come to the monument to pay their respects. They're not stepping in mud or dirt. After we finished this task, This was the finished product there. And right in front, where it gets the heaviest use with the grass, it's going to deteriorate and not survive. We excavated the grass and installed sod for this location. And I believe our photographer took pictures from all angles to give you a view of the completed project. There she is. That is all we have at the moment. We have a couple of projects at work we are very excited about that we will be sharing with you in the coming months. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you at the moment.
Okay, anyone has questions? Yes, good job, Coco. Thank you.
Thank you, President Kalfa. And if I add, I know we have been working on the Lower Shoal and the Nibley restrooms. Those projects are about 99% complete. There is a couple of touch items left at Lower Shoal. We will be opening both facilities either later this week or beginning of February. And Commissioner Wolfson, my promise to you still stands. We will be seeding those areas that the surf died in Nibley. That's going to be the upcoming projects as we start getting a little warmer, because seed does well in the warm weather to pop and root. So that project is in the works as well.
If we don't have another question, if we have question, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually had a quick question. Sorry. Are there any plans on either renovating or upgrading the basketball court at Brandt Park? I know that a couple of years ago, the backboards and the rims were taken off completely, and to have a court with some kind of a cover on it, I think would make the court be useful throughout the year. Now, obviously, during COVID, all rims have been either covered or taken off completely. But again, I don't know when or why the courts at Brandt Park were taken off altogether. But that area, if we were to put some kind of a cover on it, I think it would be very, very beneficial to us.
Yes, President Kalfaya and Commissioner Sarabegyan, the basketball court at Brandt Park was removed over a decade ago.
Right.
Because of activities that happened, and the neighbors in that area were very concerned, rightfully so. The decision was made with the department to remove the basketball court and play from that location, as it was not a suitable location. Now, over the years, the last couple of years, you might have noticed individuals brought their own rims and they installed their own rims to play. It was not active. It wasn't a department sanctioned rim at that location. So at this point, what we ended up doing is removing that altogether, even the rim and the pole that put in, so it doesn't give individuals the idea that it's going to be okay for them to do so. Now, as far as basketball courts for the rest of our facilities, yes, the rims we have removed to disencourage the basketball play, because according to county order, it's still not allowed. And when they do reinstate the basketball play, we'll be putting the rims back up. And as far as Brandt Park, at this time, we do not have any plans to bring basketball back. That will require further discussion as far as with the community, and just as far as policy goes, whether it can come back to that location or an alternate location at that facility. That current location does not seem to bode well for basketball play, given the activity and the gatherings.
I see. Thank you.
Okay, any other question, please? If we don't have any question, go ahead for the last item, please.
Item 60, Recreation and Community Services Section Monthly Activity Report for January 2021.
Good afternoon, President Kalfayan, members of the Commission. I'm Gabrielle Golia, and I'll be sharing with you our report for the last month in the Recreation section. So right now, I want to start off with a view of what is open and what is closed here in the Recreation section. On November 30th, we did have to close the Verdugo skate park, as we were talking about earlier. The county did change their protocols to only allow single families or individuals to skate at one time. So with the difficulty in enforcing that, we did decide to close until that protocol has been changed. On November 30th, we also did cancel swim lessons due to the updated protocols, which leaves the pool open for lap swim only. And we temporarily closed playgrounds and outdoor exercise equipment due to the protocols. On December 10th, the county updated those, and we did reopen the playgrounds and outdoor fitness equipment at that time. We've also had some facility and program closures temporarily due to COVID positive staff exposures at the work site. In the Education Connection and Maple Stars After School Camp, we did close one pod at Maple Park from January 9th for 2 weeks. Participants, families, and staff were informed that a person in the pod tested positive. And all of the pod participants and staff were advised to self-quarantine and monitor their health and symptoms for the required time period. At the time of this report, no additional positive cases had been reported based off of that. And out of courtesy and to be transparent to families who had children in other pods at the same location, we did inform them that a pod was closed. We received appreciative feedback from the parents that we were being transparent and keeping them informed. At the Adult Recreation Center, the senior services programs, we've had 2 different occasions in the last month and a half where we had to quarantine some staff due to some people testing positive. We were not forced to close the entire operation because we were able to pull alternate staff from other locations and other programs after disinfecting the Adult Recreation Center. So we did not pause in the delivery of meals. And all LA County protocols were followed in making sure the site was cleaned and sanitized by the next day to serve the meals. And then the next closure, or the last closure that we had to do on a temporary basis was the Pacific Community Pool. On December 12th, we did have to close the pool down. We closed from December 12th to December 17th because a lifeguard tested positive for COVID-19. We followed all the protocols to close the facility and clean and sanitize, but due to the number of staff who had been exposed in that situation, as well as people who had been exposed outside of this situation, we didn't have enough lifeguards or qualified supervisors to stay on, so we closed for 5 days, and we opened with a slightly modified schedule on the 17th and returned back to normal on the 18th. In the month of December, our department had 2 special visitors. We had Jingle and Acorn. These were our 2 little elves who followed along with all of our programs. We usually see these elves up on a shelf, but they decided to visit some of our virtual programs. They participated in Club Maple, Get Fit, Teen Night Out, senior exercise classes, trails and open space. They came to camps. So they helped us out, and you may see their picture in a number of our slides throughout the rest of the presentation because they were a big part of our programs in December. At the Civic Auditorium, we had a flu shot clinic that we offered on December 16th, and this was in preparation for the MPOD, which is the medical point of dispensing. City Council approved temporarily allocating $608,000 from the CDBG CARES Act funding to help the Civic Auditorium operate as a MPOD for the COVID-19 vaccine. We will typically have this site potentially as a operation in response to emergencies such as dispensing medication for something like an anthrax emergency, but due to COVID-19, we are operating, working to operate it right now as an MPOD for COVID-19 vaccines. We are working with the county to get that open probably in the next few weeks, in early February. The plans just haven't been finalized quite yet. But on December 16th, we operated as a flu shot clinic so that we could gauge the demand and flow when COVID-19 vaccinations are made available. So we operated the flu shot from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. We served close to 20 people. We had no issues, and it gave us a really good idea of how the flow of traffic and how the operation will be once we do open it for COVID-19 vaccines. And as you can see there, even Jingle and Acorn joined in and got their annual flu shots for the day. Our winter day camp program operated from December 21st through January 6th at Pacific and Spar Heights. And we had a total of 110 registrations taken. That is a duplicated number. Spar Heights did have to cancel the last 2 weeks of the camp. They only operated the first week due to low enrollment. So there were 10 kids at the first week of Spar. And then the other 100 reflects the numbers at Pacific throughout the season. We are continuing to operate the Education Connection and Maple Stars after school camps. On December 15th, City Council approved the staff's request for additional funding so that we could continue to operate the Education Connection and Maple Stars after school program. We are providing free programming, as well as approving the funding in order to operate the program throughout the end of the school year. They also gave us enough funding to operate the Maple Stars after school camp for free and to increase the number of participants and add on another site at Spar Heights Community Center. So we do now have 6 locations. We have camps at the Civic Auditorium, Dunsmore Community Building, Glen Oaks Park and the Joe Bridges Clubhouse, Maple Park, Pacific Community Center, and Spar Heights. We have capacity for a total of 13 pods and maximum of 12 kids per pod. So we have space to take up to 156 children in the program. The winter session started on January 7th, and right now we're at 54% capacity. We think the current surge that maybe now is plateauing a little bit is a big part of why enrollment was down compared to the fall. We did see a little uptick in the registration when GUSD closed their pods last week and this week. So we didn't close our program when GUSD shut their programs and school campuses down because childcare programs were not asked to shut down. So we continue to operate ours, still following the LA County Health Department protocols. Our elderly nutrition program has been going full force, and it has increased, as we've mentioned before, since the beginning of COVID. We've increased our program to serve an average of 13,000 monthly meals to seniors. This includes both frozen meals and brown bag pickups. Since March, the program was at 3,600 meals per month, and now we're up to 13,000 meals per month. So that's a really big increase during the COVID-19 shutdown and closures. We've also increased our enrollment by an additional 326 clients this fiscal year. So in total, the section has served 878 unduplicated seniors to date. And right now there isn't a waiting list. We've been able to accommodate every client through either the frozen meals or the brown bag pickups. So there's not a waiting list going on. In the past month, the Senior Services Unit was also able to secure an additional $35,000 grant from Meals on Wheels America, and that was for the purchase of equipment that allows us to provide a hot meal pickup option for seniors who are experiencing frozen food fatigue. The equipment is going to be used to keep the proper food holding temperatures for safe food handling, and also to support the COVID-19 social distancing protocols. Overall, the Senior Services Unit was able to secure a total of $125,000 from Meals on Wheels of America from the COVID-19 Response Fund grant program. The first 2 rounds of the grant, totaling $90,000, allowed us to serve an additional 24,000 meals to seniors. The Senior Services Unit has also been operating the Caring Caller program in collaboration with the Glendale Police Department. They continue to be an outlet to lonely seniors who are matched with police staff or volunteers by our senior case management staff. And the program helps seniors talk to a live person to help alleviate their social isolation. They've also been working, and they currently are working on a project to supply 80 unduplicated homebound seniors with a 3-month supply of hygiene supplies. And this is through a grant made possible by LA County in the amount of $7,000. And as you can see in some of our pictures, even Jingle and Acorn got in on the act to help serve meals to seniors. We also had our annual Thanksgiving food drive. It was a success even in light of COVID-19. This year, the City of Glendale employees dropped off non-perishable food items through a drive-through, and it was in bags that were provided by the Senior Services Unit. 150 bags of food staples were prepared for needy seniors. The first batch went out to 60 vulnerable homebound seniors the week of Thanksgiving, and then an additional 90 bags will be delivered to seniors experiencing food insecurity as identified by staff. Our Trails and Open Space program does continue to operate even though we've been doing it all virtually. We have multiple virtual programs on the GlendaleParksAtHome.org website. Some of the recent videos that we've added to that include a medicinal plant hike video with Dr. James Adams, a hiking and biking safety video with the City of Glendale's Trail Safety Patrol members, a Birds of Prey video with Jane Gow, and we have a new video coming soon in February. It's Nature Mythbusters. It's a campfire video with Glendale Parks and Open Space, and it's coming towards the end of February. We've not had any in-person trails and open space activities or work days due to the current surge. Our virtual senior programming does include virtual classes for seniors. We have 5 different classes or fitness exercise classes offered 5 days a week. We have aerobics, slow stretch, muscle toning, line dancing, and Zumba classes. And Jingle and Acorn participated in some of the classes in December. As you can see, they helped out the seniors and made it a little more fun. We've also, on December 8th, we also had a virtual presentation for seniors. It was, we collaborated with Wise and Healthy Aging and Cyber Seniors to present What is Elder Justice? A discussion on accessing and increasing resources in older adult communities. Our Club Maple program continues. Since June 20th, they have hosted a Club Maple virtual hangout from 5:30 to 6:30 every other Thursday. They do traditionally host a monthly celebration for the holidays like Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So for Christmas, staff made arrangements with a local restaurant to distribute pizzas to the program participants. So participants came to Maple Park Community Center prior to joining their virtual hangout so that they could all eat the same meal together while they socialize and interact virtually. For youth and family services, we continue to reach out to the STAR program. The participants this time we continue to reach out to them to conduct wellness checks and verify if there are any services or resources that the families are in need of while the county is practicing the physical distancing and while many of their regular organizations are working under modified guidelines. They do still continue to meet virtually once a week. And during the sessions, participants listen to various presentations and complete arts and crafts activities. During the month of December, 18 STAR participants received a $50 gift card to use for their holiday wish. The gift cards were donated by the Glendale Association of Realtors, and Officer Akopian hand-delivered the gift card to the participants this month. We also have had some virtual teen night out workshops. We want the teens to continue to have some form of interaction with their friends virtually and also provide them access to resources. So staff started the virtual teen night out meetups and workshops. Since the transition to virtual in May, these presentations take place weekly as opposed to every other week. The virtual format also allows for staff to recruit a presenter for each week to cover various topics relevant to teens as opposed to just one presenter per month. We were unable to do our in-person holiday tree lighting event this year, so we did have a virtual holiday tree lighting. In place of the regular event, staff worked with GTV6 and City Council to create a video that was available for residents to watch on Channel 6 or on the My Glendale YouTube channel. The video includes highlights from previous years and a holiday message from City Council members and the mayor. And as you can see, Jingle and Acorn were, of course, present at our virtual tree lighting filming so that they could show support for the activity. And that is all that I have for the recreation report. I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Let me go one by one, each commissioner, if they have questions. Commissioner Eberly. Hello. Commissioner Eberly.
The Glendale Connection program, are you doing smaller pods or fewer pods?
You were cutting out in and out a little bit. I think you were asking about the size of the pods for the Education Connection program. Is that correct? Okay. We
yes,
are
at the program's not fully enrolled.
Right. I think because of staffing issues, we are still doing pods up to 12 kids, and we have fewer pods available. And that gave us the ability with exposures with staff outside of work that might be exposed. We can close. We don't have to close down fully. They can just not come to work as long as there's no exposures in the workplace for it. So we've also been moving staff around a lot to help support the senior meals program. And so we were able to pull some staff from the Education Connection program to support over there when we did have staff exposures to COVID-19 at that location.
Okay. Commissioner.
Hi, yeah. I just want to commend you all. First off, for recommending to City Council that the after-school program for the education pods be free. Families are fiscally challenged, and this is a way to really help them in this time of need. So thank you.
Thank you.
The other bit I want to say about the your COVID response, I want to commend you again for your rapid and responsible response to the various COVID detection, which includes at your educational pods. The fact that it says here in the report that you not only notified the families who were in the pod that may have experienced exposure, but also all of the families in other various pods. And I think that really shows the level of care, consideration, and transparency that the department is willing to put out in order to continue a sense of trust and support to the families of Glendale. I also want to say that how amazing that you were able to switch out your staff at the elderly nutrition program when you did find a few of the staff members there who had COVID. It seems that you didn't miss a beat, and you continue to provide these essential services to our elderly who, it sounds like, really rely on what you all do. So the fact that you were able to quickly respond responsibly and to have the organization to completely, flip the staff so that you could provide it in a safe, responsible manner is really commendable as well. I'm saying a lot of wonderful things. I read this report and it just pleased me so much. It really, really did. Not that you guys don't do amazing things to begin with, but I really appreciate the fact that your incredible civic response and sense of duty in this very difficult time is recognized. So thank you. Oh, and yes, of course, what you did at the Pacific Park pool after a single lifeguard tested positive, and you didn't let down your guard there either. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Sarga-Begya.
I'd actually like to second Commissioner Patel's statement. I think kind of reading and looking at so many other cities, the way, everyone within the city has just responded in the last, 10 months or so is amazing, because there's like a big culture of family throughout the city with all the different parts. So I think that for the most part, obviously everyone's gone through a difficult situation, but overall we've responded very, very well from a city standpoint. And I think that those that have gone through really difficult times, being that they're in the city of Glendale, has helped them through it as opposed to some of the other cities. So I think that that just speaks volumes on your leadership and how from the top down, everyone's just kind of doing their job and going out of their way to make sure that, you know, the citizens of the community, especially those in need, are taken care of.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Wilferson?
Thank you. Yeah, just I don't want to belabor it, but I also appreciate how I said it earlier, how I'm sorry that I'm off camera because my phone is. I said earlier how much I appreciate the great lengths that our city has gone to keep us safe. And
thank you.
Okay. This department does a lot to this community. They haven't hesitated to just sit down and watch what's going on with COVID. They have taken the right steps to keep going. They help from physical to food to education, everything to this community. They give this staff, they give everything from their heart, with their experience and feelings. Before I adjourn, I need to ask Iris, is there anything else?
No, President Kalfayan, there is nothing else on the agenda.
Okay, so this meeting is adjourned.
I'm sorry.
There is no. Go ahead.
President Kalfayan?
Go ahead, please.
Thank you, President Kalfayan, members of the commission. First, I want to thank all the commissioners for the kind words. But the staff, basically, they are working day in, day out, 24 hours a day, trying to provide the services. And they're always one step, two steps, three steps ahead. So if we were to, for example, get an exposure for our senior services section, today we know what to do, they know what to do. If it wasn't for the field staff, let it be recreation, park services, homeless services, workforce development, the department wouldn't be doing the good work that they're doing today. So I do thank you for the kind words, and I do thank the staff. Job well done, and hopefully we'll get out of this soon. Thank you again.
Thank you. Congratulations. And this meeting is adjourned, and next meeting will be February 22nd. Thank you.
Thank you.